All right, we are live here. It is Thursday evening, July 7th, 2016. Again, this is a live webinar. This is not a recorded webinar. We're going to get started here in about 2 minutes. I'm just going to run some quick tests with my PowerPoint and make sure the audio is working here. But if you're tuning in, this is the high hanging fruit webinar. Everyone who joins us on this live training tonight is going to get a free copy of my new book. High Hanging Fruit is an autographed copy. It is totally free. I will even pay for the shipping. So it's totally free to you, no strings attached. Everyone who joins us on the train tonight is going to get a free copy of that book. As I said, we're going to get started here in just about 1 minute. I'm just doing a super quick test of the audio and PowerPoint here, and we will get started at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on the high hanging fruit training. So give me just 1 minute here, guys, and we will get started. Thanks. All right, as I said, if you're just joining us, we're going to get started here in about 30 seconds on the high hanging fruit webinar. Everyone who joins us in tonight's training is going to get a free copy of my new book, High Hanging Fruit. Just make sure you watch all the way to the end because I will reveal how to get a free copy of that book. There are no strings attached, totally free. I'm even going to pay for the shipping. So again, that book is totally free. Keep watching all the way to the end. And I will show you how to get a free copy of that book. I'm super excited for tonight's training. Give me about 20 seconds here. I'll do one last test on my audio, and we're going to get started, guys, on the high hanging fruit webinar. All right. All right, my clock says on my iPhone here, I got 8:31 p.m. So we are good to go. What we're going to be covering here is a strategy that I wrote about in a book, High Hanging Fruit. It's for realtors. So if you're watching this webinar, what you're going to learn tonight is a brand new strategy. Really, it's a brand new way of thinking about lead generation. So high hanging fruit isn't a tactic. It's really a whole new philosophy of how you can think about growing your business, how to think about lead generation. What high hanging fruit is, let me get to this right away. What high hanging fruit is, it's a marketing philosophy where you actually intentionally focus on building up a future pipeline of leads that'll be ready to buy a house in 3 or 4 months. Okay, high hanging fruit is this contrarian idea where we're intentionally focused on building a future pipeline of leads that probably won't be ready to buy or sell for another 3 to 4 months. So it's high hanging fruit versus low hanging fruit. The reason we focus on that, and the reason I wrote this entire book about this strategy, is that no one else is doing it. All the realtors out there are focused on low hanging fruit. So it actually creates a pretty cool opportunity if you focus on building a future pipeline, because what you'll find in this webinar, I'll show you some cool ways to where you can generate leads and you won't have any competition. Those leads are only going to be in your database, in your funnel. They're not going to be talking to any other realtors. And that's why this works so well. So of course, as I said, keep watching all the way to the end of this webinar because I will reveal how you can get a free copy of the book, High Hanging Fruit. And then right away, I do want to let you know that throughout this whole training, I'm actually going to share a bunch of real stories, real stories of realtors around the United States that are actually using this strategy, high hanging fruit. So this is not just a theory that I dreamt up and it's just a theory and I don't have any actual proof of it working in the real world, right? There's clients I've worked with all around the country in big markets, small towns, big cities, suburbs, everything in between. So I'm going to share a lot of stories and actual videos of clients that are using this in the real world in this webinar so you can see how they're implementing the strategy in their market. And the last thing you'll notice, actually, in the bottom right corner of all these slides, there's a logo that says platform. So this high-hanging fruit strategy actually just started with me as a marketing consultant, and I was working with a bunch of realtors, and they become really, really successful. And it grew beyond what I was able to handle as just an individual consultant. We had so many people that wanted us to implement this high-hanging fruit strategy for them that I actually just went ahead and started a company, and it's called Platform. And Platform is where realtors around the country hire us to basically manage all their marketing for them, and we help them implement this high-hanging fruit strategy in their market. So that's what Platform is, if you notice that logo in the bottom right. But let's go ahead and get started here. I actually wanted to start with a text message that I recently received. This is from a realtor actually in Florida. And I mean, as you can say, he's noticed that, you know, he has 9 clients already lined up. You know, just one listing lead is actually going to end up in 3 different transactions for him. So he has potentially five deals going just in between 2 leads. The very end of this text message is my favorite part. Okay, it says, "My pipeline is full." I really think that's the key phrase. My pipeline is full. That's what high-hanging fruit is all about. It's about building a future pipeline. Okay, so we're not as much concerned in the context of high-hanging fruit. We're not as much concerned about trying to find you know, leads that are ready to go today, or someone who's ready to go house hunting today, or someone who's ready to list their house this week, right? We're more patient. We have the vision to actually build a future pipeline to where we have a ton of leads that are going to be ready in 2 months and in 3 months and in 4 months, okay? So high-hanging fruit, you know, as you see in this text message that I received from a client, high-hanging fruit is all about building the pipeline, because that just gives you real, it gives you real peace of mind as a realtor, knowing that you have a future pipeline, that you're not going to get into the slow months, you know, let's say of October, November, December, and you're not going to have any closings. You know, our clients that are using this high-hanging fruit idea, they have steady business every month because they've put in the work of building this pipeline. So that's what high-hanging fruit is all about. It's all about building a future pipeline of people that are ready to go in 3 or 4 months. Okay, it's all about building that future pipeline. So here's what we're going to cover in the next 60 minutes. And I realize we're already about 5 minutes in, so we actually have about 55 minutes. We're going to talk obviously about what this high-hanging fruit strategy really is. We'll dive into the details of that. One of the more controversial, I guess, parts of this is we're going to talk about why I believe most internet leads actually suck. Okay, that's a stereotype in real estate, you know, that internet leads suck. And I think it's a stereotype for a very good reason, because most leads you get online they're bad leads. They're not quality leads. You end up spending a ton of money, and you end up, you know, just spending a lot of money with, you know, Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or Zillow or Realtor.com or all these companies. And, you know, you're spending hundreds or $500 or $1,000 a month, and you're getting 10 leads or 15 leads or 20 leads for that money. And half the leads have fake email addresses, or half the leads have fake phone numbers, you know? So, I mean, there definitely is a very real problem. It's a stereotype for a good reason. Most internet leads really do suck. So in this training tonight, I'm actually going to show you how you can generate quality leads, you know, for about $5 a piece without paying a middleman like Zillow. Okay, without paying a middleman like Zillow. That's the key. You know, if you're sending thousands of dollars a month to Zillow or Boomtown or Commissions Inc., whomever, right? There's Curator, there's Conversion, there's all these companies out there. Obviously, they have to make a profit on that. So you have to realize that if you're paying other people to get you those leads, there's a middleman and some profit margin involved there. So I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself and get leads for about $5 a piece using this high-hanging fruit strategy. And then throughout this training, as I promised, I'm going to show you real stories with actual videos, okay, of platform clients around the country that have doubled, tripled, or some have even quadrupled their business using this strategy. So it's not just going to be me talking about a bunch of theory. I'll actually show you some case study videos of how realtors around the country have implemented this idea in their specific market. So first, let's just start off 4 reasons the platform strategy can double or even triple your GCI in 2016. And as promised, I want to start out with a video. This is a realtor in Florida named Jonathan Garrick. Here's a quick video of him talking about how the book High Hanging Fruit and the ideas that we're going to talk about in this webinar have really transformed his business.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Garrick, real estate agent in Southwest Florida with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm here today to talk to you about the book High Hanging Fruit and the Platform System. And if you've ever read any of the books by Gary Keller, The One Thing or The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, they give you the real big picture thinking on how to come up with a business plan and to grow your real estate business. This is the rocket fuel to that system, to actually how to market your business and yourself effectively. So definitely, if you're interested in this book, pick up a copy and also contact Platform. It was one of the best business decisions I've ever made.
Awesome. So again, everyone who is on the training tonight is going to get a free copy of that book, High Hanging Fruit. And I want to be really clear about this. There's no strings attached. I'm not going to like secretly make you pay for shipping. I actually have a huge box of these books at my house. I personally autograph and package all the books myself. So it's not being outsourced to like a child labor sweatshop in Malaysia or the Philippines or India or something. All these books are actually personally packaged by me. I autograph all them by hand and I ship them to you. And the reason I'm doing that is obviously if you're willing to invest an hour tonight with me learning this high hanging fruit strategy, I'm totally willing to mail you a copy of the book for free. So as I said, at the end of the training tonight, I will show you how you can get that free book, totally free, no strings attached. I do want to show you one more story here. This is a realtor, Jose Medina. He's in Colorado Springs, Colorado, actually. And his story is awesome. He's been using this for about 2 years, this strategy, and he's grown his business. Jose has grown his business thanks to this high-hanging fruit technique. He's grown his business from doing about 25 transactions a year to over 100 transactions a year. So he's quadrupled his business. He's gone from 25 deals a year to over 100 deals a year. And what's even more shocking about that is Jose actually doesn't have a team. He doesn't have a bunch of buyer's agents. It's just Jose and one assistant who's unlicensed. So Jose's been able to use this high-hanging fruit strategy to scale his business way far beyond what most people think is possible with just one realtor and an assistant. So I want to show you this quick video of how Jose went from 25 to over 100 deals a year.
Hey guys, if you're still skeptical about high-hanging fruit, let's just break down the numbers real quick. In 2013, I did 25 deals. I then implemented high-hanging fruit platforms so that you know. In 2014, I went from 25 to 50 deals. In 2015, I went from 50 deals to 70 deals, baby. And now in 2016, I'm making over 100 transactions so that you know. And now that I have my team in place in 2016, just imagine what I'm going to do in 2017. Make it a phenomenal day.
Awesome. So again, that's Jose Medina. Jose is a realtor in Colorado Springs. What I really like about sharing these video stories, these case studies, is that case studies prove the results. You know, case studies don't lie. It's not just a theory that we're talking about here. These are real realtors just like you around the country that implemented this idea and created these results in their market. So I think it's important actually to show you some of these videos, because I totally understand if I tell you, hey, here's how a realtor tripled their income or quadrupled their business. You know, Jose went from making about, I think 120 or 130,000 a year in GCI, I think. Jose is going to do over $700,000 this year in GCI. So Jose has 7 times his business. He's gone from, over 100 to over 700,000 this year in commissions. And, that almost sounds too good to be true, right? It almost sounds like a fake story, like a fake testimonial. So it's just really important to me to share actual videos so you can see these real people that are using this high-hanging fruit strategy. So as we get rolling here, please grab a pen and paper. I do move very quickly. Looking at my iPhone here, we have about 40 minutes left. So I'm going to be flying here through this content. So please be taking notes as I'm moving through this. Just really quick about me. The book High Hanging Fruit is actually the second book I've written and published on marketing. The first book I wrote was Main Street Marketing, and it wasn't specifically for realtors. The book Main Street Marketing was for small business owners in general. It had a focus on brick and mortar small business owners, like someone who owns a coffee shop or a restaurant or a car dealership, a realtor, an insurance agent. And what happened was I had so many realtors that actually emailed me that were using the ideas that I put forward in this book, and they were just having incredible success with it, that I decided to do a little bit more research on how I could kind of refine the book and make it a little bit more specific for realtors, because we just had all these awesome case studies of agents around the country that were using kind of the general ideas in Main Street marketing, but they were applying it specifically to the real estate profession. So that led me to publish my second book, High Hanging Fruit. And this, obviously, as you see, is a book specifically written for realtors. This was published last year, and it's about a 200-page book, all about my ideas of how local realtors can generate leads, cultivate leads, and grow their business by doing the opposite of what other real estate agents are doing. So notice the subtitle in this book. It's a proven marketing strategy for ambitious real estate agents. We have a lot of case studies I'm going to share, in this training tonight videos, and you'll notice that these aren't like minor improvements. Okay, we don't have realtors that went from doing 10 deals a year to 12, or we don't have realtors that went from doing 25 deals a year to 30. Okay, most of these are really ambitious stories and really ambitious realtors with incredible growth in their businesses thanks to this high-hanging fruit idea. We're talking about realtors like Jose that have gone from 25 deals a year to over 100. We have agents that have gone from making $100,000 a year to making $200,000. We have agents that have gone from making $200,000 to making $500,000. Okay, so it's really incredible case studies for realtors who want to really, really scale their business. So I have the subtitle of the book, A Proven Marketing Strategy for Ambitious Real Estate Agents. That was a very carefully selected subtitle for the book. So as I said, please grab a pen and paper because I am going to move really quickly. You can probably already tell I talk very fast. So if you don't already, please grab a notepad and pen so you can take notes. First, we're going to talk about where to invest your time and where to invest your money. Long story short, most realtors are doing the exact opposite of what they should be doing. Okay, so most realtors are investing all their money at the bottom of the funnel and they're putting all their time at the top of the funnel. So what I mean by that is, if you can envision that typical sales funnel in your head, okay, and it's basically that triangle that's like upside down, right? And all the leads come in at the top of the funnel, and as you get closer and closer to the bottom of the funnel, there's fewer and fewer leads because the triangle narrows. And at the bottom of the funnel, those are the people that actually buy from you, right? Most realtors are doing this, I think, exactly wrong, the opposite of what they should be doing. They're spending all their time at the top of the funnel on manual labor, like time-intensive manual labor, like making cold calls or door knocking. It's this labor like cold calling expireds, cold calling FSBOs. It's not scalable, okay? You're really limited by the number of hours you have in a day and the number of cold calls you can make in a day. It just doesn't make any sense for me to spend all your time on something that's, unqualified cold leads. That doesn't make any sense to me. So what we do instead is, rather than doing that and spending our money at the bottom of the funnel, buying these super expensive leads, from Zillow or from realtor.com or Boomtown, Commissions Inc., they're spending all their money at the bottom of the funnel on what I would call low-hanging fruit, leads that are ready to go this week. Those are really, really expensive leads, okay? It's really, really expensive. So to me, it just makes much more sense to do the opposite. Let's spend our money, spend our marketing budget at the top of the funnel so we can spend our time at the bottom of the funnel only working with leads that are warm, qualified, and actually excited to talk with us. So at the very end of the webinar, I'm actually going to show you some text messages I literally got from a client today. Like, she just texted me like literally this afternoon on Thursday, July 7th. And so I was like racing to upload these text message screenshots into this PowerPoint presentation so I could show you. And these text messages that she sent me just prove that if you follow this high-hanging fruit strategy, you'll get warm leads actually coming to you. So you don't have to go out and hunt for leads with, FSBOs and expireds. You can actually get warm leads coming to you. So in essence, high-hanging fruit is this idea that we should invest our marketing budget at the top of the funnel in generating leads, okay? Leads that are probably 3 or 4 or 5 months away, okay, from actually buying or selling. We're intentionally trying to target people that are a couple months away, like while they're in that doing research phase, right? While they're in that doing research phase where they're maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months away from actually listing their house or actually buying a house, that's when we want to reach out to them and offer them something of value in exchange for their first name and email. So even when they're 4 or 5 months out, we want to get their first name and email by offering them something of value so that we can get a head start on other realtors. Because most real estate agents only start paying attention to leads when they're like ready to go in the next month. That's really the only time they start paying attention to them. So we want to get their attention and provide value for them really, really early in the sales cycle, really, really early in the process. Maybe even they're 6 months away. So it's what, July 7th right now. Maybe they're not actually ready to do anything until next January. We want to get them in our funnel right now so we can start educating them and building trust with them. So by the time December and January rolls around, they already trust us. They're not even going to interview other agents because we've had a 5 or 6 month head start where we can build trust with them. And we essentially have a monopoly on their mind because no other agents are really even paying attention to those leads that early in the sales cycle. So that's what high hanging fruit is all about. This is actually a really good transition into this slide. This is why it's such an advantage for you as a real estate agent if you have a smaller budget. So most of the clients I work with platform are spending $500 a month or $1,000 a month or even $1,500 a month on ads. Okay, but most agents out there that most agents are not spending that much. Most agents are spending $200 a month on ads or $500 a month on ads. Okay, high hanging fruit can be a real serious advantage to you as a realtor if you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to spend every year, because you can generate more leads for the same amount of money. Okay, so if you're living in the context of low-hanging fruit, right? You're basically buying your leads at the retail level. So you're paying a really marked up, overpriced retail price because the middlemen out there, right? The Zillows and the realtor.coms, they have to make a profit too. So they get the leads and then they mark it up and sell those leads to you at an inflated cost. So once you learn this high-hanging fruit strategy and you learn how to generate those leads when they're still 3 months out or 4 months out or 5 months out, you can cut out the middleman. You can cut out the middleman. So what that means is you can generate much more leads for the same amount of money. Most of my clients, let me just give you some hard numbers here. Most clients with platform right now are generating leads for about $5 a piece. So if they put $100, for example, into a Facebook ad, they'll probably get about 20 leads, sometimes 25 or even 30 leads for $100. On this webinar, for example, I spent $1,000 to promote this webinar. I spent $1,000 to spread the word about this live training tonight, okay? For that, I generated about 300 leads. There were 300 realtors around the country that signed up for this training tonight, okay? So that means that my cost per lead was about $3.33. I mean, that's incredible. Most realtors would be shocked to know that they can actually generate their own leads for less than $5 a piece, So when I show you these case studies of like Jose, who I said he's in Colorado Springs, he grew his business from doing 25 transactions a year to 100, that's how we did it. When you're that efficient in how you're generating leads and growing your business, that's how the math is working behind the scenes to double or triple your business. So it really is a huge advantage, again, because for the same amount of money, you can generate much more leads. If you put $100 into Zillow, you might be lucky if you get even a couple good leads, not 25 or 30. So again, for the same amount of money, if you create high-hanging fruit style marketing campaigns for the same amount of money, you will absolutely generate more leads than you're probably currently getting, with realtor.com or, Commissions Inc. or Boomtown or Zillow. So I want to show you this text message. This is an actual text, and I apologize for the swearing here, but this is an actual text I received from a client. This is a realtor in Wisconsin, and he texted me to let me know that as he was doing his follow-up with these leads he got from this high-hanging fruit strategy, he's like, boom, right away, I got 2 pre-approvals for $400,000. He says, dude, this really does work. It's easy. What's interesting about this is that this realtor is 19 years old. So this is basically a kid who just graduated high school, right? And he's on pace this year. It's his first full year in real estate. It's his first year full-time in real estate. He's just 19 years old. He's on pace to do over $100,000 this year in GCI at 19 years old. So at an age when most kids are going off to college and going into debt $100,000 to get a worthless degree, he's already out there in the real world implementing this high-hanging fruit strategy. He's on pace to do over 100,000 this year in GCI. Crazy. The kid is 19 years old. So in his own words, dude, this really does work. So ultimately what high-hanging fruit is about, it's this kind of classic tension between sales and marketing. So it's this tension between sales and marketing. What I have to get you to believe, and what you have to really realize before high-hanging fruit will make sense to you, is that you can get to about 30 transactions a year as a realtor just by putting in long hours. Okay, so you can get to that 30 deals a year kind of milestone just by working lots of open houses and by getting sign calls from your listings, and hopefully getting like a couple referrals every year from your sphere of influence. You know, if you just put in the time and you get some referrals, you get some sign calls, maybe you sit some open houses for other agents. If you just put in the time and you hustle, essentially, right? If you put in that hustle, you can probably get to that point where you're doing about 30 transactions a year, but you'll plateau there, okay? Hustle and hard work and putting in long hours can get you to 30 transactions a year, but it really can't get you beyond 30 transactions a year. So if you're an agent watching this training tonight and you're right up at that number, maybe you're at 25 deals a year or 30 deals a year or 35 even deals a year, you know, it's not exactly 30, right? Maybe it's 27 or maybe it's 35 or maybe it's 36, but at that point in your business, at approximately when you get to around 30 deals a year, you'll find that you're out of inputs. So you're probably already working 60 hours a week, right? The answer to doubling your business, if you're already working 60 hours a week, isn't just to start working 120 hours a week. You know, how to get from 30 transactions a year to 60 transactions a year. If you're already working 60 hours a week, you obviously can't just double and start working 120 hours a week. That's, you know, humanly impossible. So what you have to realize is that what got you to that point in your business where you're doing 30 transactions a year, sales and hustle got you to 30 deals a year. But the only thing that can get you beyond 30 deals a year to doing 50 deals a year or 80 deals a year or 100 deals a year is having a marketing system, okay? It's having a marketing system. So sales can get you to 30 transactions a year approximately, but the only thing that can get you beyond is if you actually build out a marketing system. And high-hanging fruit is all about building a marketing system using lead generation strategies that actually add value to people when they're 3 or 4 months out, so you can build a pipeline. So with that in mind, I want to show you a quick video here of an agent who went from 15 to 25 to 60 deals a year. Okay, it's all about building a marketing system. It's not about making a mass amount of cold calls. It's about building a marketing system that actually allows you to leverage and, you know, scale your business, because he didn't go from 15 to 60. You know, if you're good at math, going from 15 to 60 here is a quadrupling of his business, okay? He didn't go from 15 to 60 by quadrupling the number of hours he was working. Because I'm guessing when he was at 15 deals a year, he probably was already working 40 hours a week. So I'm guessing now that he's doing 60, he's not working, you know, 160 hours a week, okay? It's all about building a high-hanging fruit style marketing system that builds you a pipeline.
Hey guys, Paul Gillespie team at Keller Williams Gateway. Before I met Tim and implemented the platform marketing system, I was selling about 15 houses a year. I'm 3 years into it. The second year, I sold 25. This year, I'm going to sell 60, and then next year, our goal is to sell 100. So the platform system is a real deal. I could not have scaled my business so quickly without it. Thank you.
Awesome. So, you know, as he said, it's all about a system, okay? He didn't go from 15 to 60 just by working harder or longer hours or making more cold calls. He had to have a marketing system. So I just really want to repeat this because this is actually super important. You can grow your business to 30 deals a year if you're good at sales, if you're putting in long hours, just with straight up hustle. You can do about 30 deals a year. However, to scale your business to 50 or 100 transactions a year, you know, and beyond, it's not about sales, it's about marketing, okay? So up to about 30 transactions a year, it's about your sales skill. It's about your ability to close deals and hustle, okay? But beyond 30 transactions a year, it's not about sales anymore. It's about marketing and how full is your pipeline. So we have a client who, after working with us, has actually doubled her business, going from 100 transactions a year to actually now more than 200 transactions a year. And what I can tell you, in scaling her business from 100 deals a year to over 200, it wasn't because she was just making more cold calls, okay? She wasn't just making more cold calls. It was that she actually built a marketing system that massively increased her future pipeline using this high-hanging fruit strategy, and that's what allowed her to double from 100 to 200. So it's not about sales at that point. To really scale your business, it's about marketing, not sales. So this is high-hanging fruit 101. How to generate cheaper leads, okay? You gotta avoid Google pay-per-click ads, avoid sending mass amounts of direct mail, okay? And for the love of God, stop cold calling people. That behavior is not scalable. It does work, okay? I will admit that cold calling and using Vulcan 7 or, the Red X, cold calling expireds and cold calling physicals, yes, it does work. I'm not saying it does work. You probably will get a positive ROI on that, but it's not scalable, okay? You can't just make cold calls for 12 hours a day, okay? It's not scalable. And furthermore, it's not really enjoyable, right? Like, are you excited to wake up every morning as a realtor thinking that you have to make 4 hours worth of phone calls? Like, oh, I'm gonna spend the first 4 hours of my day making 100 cold calls to strangers who don't want to hear from me, right? You're sending all these cold calls, and it's to expired listings and for sale by owners, and you have to use these tricky sales phone scripts that are basically almost lying to them, telling them that, oh, I might have a buyer for your house, just to get your foot in the door. That just to me seems really, really sketchy. But even I guess from a purely practical perspective, it's just not scalable. You can't scale that. People who grow from doing 100 transactions a year, again, to 200, or going from 50 deals a year to 100, they didn't do that just by upping the amount of cold calls they were making. They did it by actually building a marketing system that generates inbound leads. Okay, so if you want to generate cheaper leads, you don't want to be sending all your money to Google pay-per-click. Just kind of like an insider tip here, I guess. If you're using like Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or Curator or Conversion, there's all these companies out there. There's Real Geeks. They're essentially brokers for Google Ads. It's a broker for Google Ads. So if you pay them, like $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, whatever, they're basically taking half of that, and that's their profit. And then they take the other half and they just send that to Google and buy clicks on Google in your name. So basically, they're just a middleman in the process of buying Google Ads. And obviously, I'm not against making a profit. Like, this is America. We have capitalism. I think that's awesome. So I'm not against making a profit, obviously. I run a for-profit business, okay? But you just need to be aware that that's their business model. So if you're getting your leads from a Boomtown, a Commissions Inc., it's essentially a broker for Google Ads. So you're paying an inflated fee for those leads because there is a middleman who has to make some money. So if you want to generate cheaper leads, you don't want to pay the full retail price. You want to generate your leads at the top of the funnel, on the top branches of the tree, what I call the high-hanging fruit, rather than the low branches of the tree, okay? This is basically about economics. It's like junior high economics. Low-hanging fruit are all the buyers out there, all the leads out there that are ready to go, let's say, this month. So low-hanging fruit are leads that, are ready to list their house this week, or they're ready to start house hunting this week. And realtors want those leads, right? Because it's easy, But paradoxically, if all realtors want the low-hanging fruit and they're all spending their marketing budgets on the low-hanging fruit, it paradoxically ceases to be low-hanging fruit, because then that's where all the competition is. This is junior high supply and demand. I mean, it's what you would learn in a junior high economics class. You don't have to have majored in finance in college to understand this, okay? It's junior high economics. If the demand for those leads greatly increases, but the supply of those leads is a constant, the price is going to rise. If the demand sharply increases, but the supply of those leads is a fixed number, the price is going to rise. So that's why, if you've noticed over the last 5-10 years, if you've been buying leads online on Google, you've probably noticed that back in 2005 or 2006, leads were a lot cheaper. The clicks were a lot cheaper on Google. You could get leads for $3 or $4 or $5 a piece. Now that's impossible on Google. Your clicks on Google might cost $5 or $10 a piece, not the leads, but the clicks. So if it takes you 10 clicks to get a real lead, and you're paying $10 cost per click, that's $100 per lead. You know, it's kind of hard to make the marketing math work in your real estate business if you're paying $100 per lead, because obviously you're not going to convert every single lead into an actual buyer or seller. So it's just basic supply and demand. If all the realtors out there want that low-hanging fruit and they're all spending their marketing budgets to target that low-hanging fruit, the cost of those leads is going to rise. It's basic supply and demand. There's a ton of demand for it, but there's a limited supply of those leads. The price is going to go up. Again, basic junior high economics. Okay. However, if you want to get really, really cheap leads, you have to look at the top of the funnel, and that's what high-hanging fruit is all about. If you want cheaper leads, look at the top of the funnel. So pick your leads off of the high branches at the top of the tree. So when all the other realtors are fighting over the leads at the bottom of the tree, you know, they're fighting over those leads at the bottom of the funnel, you bring a ladder and you climb to the top of the tree and you pick all the apples for yourself. You pick all the leads to yourself. At the top of the tree, it's automatically a buyer's market because you're the only buyer of that lead. And in a buyer's market, you're going to get a great price. So again, it's a basic economics. If you bring a ladder and you're willing to have the patience and the business vision to climb to the top of the tree and focus on leads that are higher up in the sales cycle, so you're focusing on leads that are 3 or 4 or 5 months out, you're going to be the only one at the top of the tree. You're the only realtor who's focusing on those leads at the top of the sales cycle. So it's automatically a buyer's market for those leads because you're the only buyer. Okay, so that's how we're generating these leads for $5 a piece or $4 a piece or $3 a piece. It's basic economics. It's a buyer's market because you're the only buyer. So as I mentioned at the very beginning of this training, this works because it's basically the opposite of what everyone else is doing. So let's get into 4 specific reasons that I think the high-hanging fruit strategy is going to be a game changer for your career. You know, it can double or triple or quadruple your business. First is that you're offering real value. Okay. The biggest problem I see out there with how most realtors are generating their leads is they drive them to a website and then, you know, a lead wants to start looking at homes. So you might have IDX on your website, right? And they want to search for all the, let's say you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they want to start looking for homes in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so they go to your website, you have IDX on your website, and they, they type in, they want to see all the, houses in Tulsa that have at least 2 bathrooms, at least, let's say 4 bedrooms, and they're looking in between, 200 and 300,000. That's their price range. And then they click enter and boom, you ask them for all their contact information. That's a really annoying experience when the way that you're generating leads is you're forcing them to register just to look at the freaking houses. It's not really adding value to their experience if you demand that they hand over their contact information just to look at houses. And what's going to happen just from a practical perspective, right? They're just going to leave and go to another website that doesn't force them to register, like realtor.com or Zillow, or maybe one of your competitors that has an IDX website that doesn't force registrations on the website. So that whole style of lead generation, yeah, it used to work back in the day, but it's not, 2007 anymore, okay? A more intelligent way of generating leads, and I'll show you it's a much more effective way of generating leads, is actually providing real value to people in exchange for their contact information. So we're not just going to force them to register against their will to look at houses. We're actually going to offer them something of value that they actually want, and we'll say, hey, cool, I have this really cool thing you might want to see, or this really cool free report or video series that you might want to see if you're thinking about selling or buying a house. And all I'm asking is your first name and email. So if you just let me know what your first name and email is, so I know where to send your free report, or so I know where to send your free download PDF, whatever, I'll send that to you. And then obviously it's built into this funnel, or it's built into this marketing strategy that you're gonna get accurate contact information. Okay, that's one of the biggest problems with leads from Zillow or leads from Boomtown, Commissions Inc. is that so many people I've talked to that have used these systems tell me, yeah, like I got some leads, but half of them had a fake phone number, or half of them, the email addresses were fake email addresses. So that's not really very helpful to you in your business if you're trying to scale your business. if half of your leads coming in are fake. So how you can ensure, and this is something we do at Platform. So all of our Platform clients would tell you that like 100% of their leads are people with real email addresses that are actually opening their emails. It's real phone numbers, because in how we generate the leads for them, we're offering real value. So let's just say that, I told you I had this awesome 5-minute training on how to use Facebook ads to get leads. And I said, hey, I'll send you the video. Just give me your email address so I know where to send the video, right? Obviously, you'd be like, yeah, here's my name, here's my email, please send me that video, right? Because you actually want to see the video. And it's just implied that obviously, if you give me a fake email address, like you're never going to see the video, because I'll send the video to that fake email address and you'll never see it. So built in to the psychology of this high-hanging fruit system is that the way you generate leads is just as important as how much money you're spending, because the way that you generate leads is what determines if you're going to get, real, genuine contact information or fake contact information. So step number one is make sure that in how you're generating leads, you're offering real value. Probably my favorite example of this is a realtor named Debbie up in Minnesota. And what she did to generate leads is, rather than forcing people to register on her website, with IDX, she decided, hey, I'm going to write a book. I mean, like a real physical 200-page book, not like an ebook or a PDF, or not like, a 40-page brochure. I'm talking a legitimate paperback 200-page book. So she sat down and she wrote this real book, and then she just offered the book for free to people using Facebook ads who were interested in buying or selling a house. So this was actually one of the very first clients with Platform, was this realtor up in Minnesota, and she wrote a book about her local real estate market, and we designed some Facebook ads for her that basically said like, hey, if you're thinking about maybe buying a home this year, get this free book before you contact a real estate agent. And, let's just say that you're a realtor again in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you would have a book that you're giving away, and you would just have a Facebook ad. It's a super casual ad. It's not like intense. It's not a really salesy ad. It's just using really casual language. Like, hey, if you're thinking about maybe buying a home this year, get this free book before you contact a real estate agent. And, and it would have a link to a landing page where they can get it, like www.tulsahomesbook.com. And then, so what happened when we ran this ad and targeted it to people, in her hometown, just offering a free book. If you were thinking about, maybe buying or selling a house this year, just get my free book. The title of the book, by the way, was like The Ultimate Guide to Tulsa Real Estate: What You Need to Know Before Buying or Selling a Home in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so that was the title. So the title itself sounds really, really interesting and valuable, if you were thinking about maybe buying or selling a home in Tulsa. So it's The Ultimate Guide to Tulsa Real Estate: What You Need to Know Before Buying or Selling a Home in Tulsa. And then obviously your name as the realtor is on the cover. So not only is the book positioning you as the local expert in your area, it's also providing a great reason to capture contact information for all these leads, because obviously you need to know where to mail their book, right? It's a real book. So what our client found up in Minnesota who did this is that every single person who gave her contact information gave her an accurate phone number, an accurate email address, an accurate mailing address, because she had to know where to mail the book. So she could call them and follow up and basically say like, hey, I saw that you requested a copy of my book. I'll get that mailed to you right away. So what interested you in the book? Were you thinking about maybe buying a home this year? Or, why did you sign up for my book? And she just asked an innocent question like that. And obviously that's a great icebreaker to a conversation, because then all those leads just, told her kind of what their plans were and why they were interested in that book. Obviously they were all thinking about buying or selling a home. So this agent put up this ad for this book and spent $200 on a Facebook ad and generated hundreds of leads. Okay, hundreds of leads of people who requested the book and gave all their contact information because they wanted that free book. And the reason the ad worked so well, this is what I'm trying to get to. The reason this ad of a free book worked so well is that it actually provides real value to the person signing up. You're not forcing them against their will to register just to peruse the listings on your IDX website, right? It's like, hey, I wrote this book about the local real estate market, and I'd be happy to mail it to you. Just let me know where to mail it. Here's where you can sign up for a free copy. That's a pretty good trade. Just give up your contact information and a local author will send you a book about the local real estate market, right? Like, that's pretty cool. And then obviously, as I said, this realtor can now claim that she literally wrote the book on local real estate. So it's a great tool for positioning as well. So it's a great lead generation tool as well as lead conversion tool, because now she can claim that she literally wrote the book on the market. So think of other strategies that you could use for lead generation that actually offer value to people in exchange for their contact information. These are most useful, as I said, in this context of high-hanging fruit. These are most useful early on in the process, because when people are still 3 or 4 or 5 months away, they're kind of in that mental phase where they're doing research, right? So what sort of information can you give them, or what sort of insights or expert wisdom can you give them on your real estate market when they're in that doing research phase, when they're 3 or 4 months out? That's what high-hanging fruit is all about. So maybe you don't want to write a book. Maybe you can film a 5-part video series on, let's say, the 5 most expensive mistakes made by homeowners in Tulsa selling their home. So you film a 5-part video series for homeowners in Tulsa that are thinking about maybe listing their home. And you have a really catchy headline, like the 5 most expensive mistakes made by Tulsa homeowners. And then to get that 5-part video series, you just build a landing page, and people will sign up to get those videos, because probably they're thinking about selling their home, or why in the hell would they sign up for the 5 videos, right? That's the basis of this high-hanging fruit strategy, and this is what we do for our platform clients every day. We build marketing campaigns that generate leads high up in the sales cycle, early in the process, using this high-hanging fruit philosophy by actually offering them real value. So actually offering them something they want in exchange for their contact information. Because if someone signs up for that 5-part video series, right, they're not going to give you a fake email address, because then they'll never get the videos that they signed up for. It has to be their real email address, so you know where to send the videos, right? So it's just implied in all this that, of course, you're going to get accurate contact information, because you're actually offering people something that they want. So maybe you do like a podcast, like an audio interview of 10 tips for first-time home buyers, and maybe you give that away in exchange for people's contact information. Maybe it's a 5-part video series. Maybe you write a book. There's just so many ideas you can think of to provide real value. And this is what we do at Platform all day, is we have dozens of funnels that we've proven work. So with Platform, basically realtors are just hiring us to do this all for them, because we know already exactly what works and what doesn't. So like, here's an example. Like, I'll give you 5 specific Facebook ads that use this high-hanging fruit strategy. All you have to do is go to platformmarketingpdf.com to get it. So I'll give you like 5 seconds here to download that. This is just a free gift from me to you. So check out platformmarketingpdf.com, and you can get a free template of 5 specific Facebook ads that we already have proven to work that use this high-hanging fruit philosophy. And I should note here too, I'm not trying to like hide this, right? I'm using this high-hanging fruit idea right now. So obviously, if you go to platformmarketingpdf.com and you sign up, all I'm asking for is your first name and email. Like, I'm not asking you to give me your credit card number or your social security number or all this personal information, right? Like, if you actually want that free template, like, all I'm asking is your first name and email. So what's going to happen? Like, if you're actually interested in that, like, you'll give your first name and email, and it'll be a real email address, right? Like, you're not going to put a fake contact info there. So this just goes down. I mean, it's basic human psychology. If you actually offer people something that they actually want, they'll be more than happy to give you their first name and email. Okay, it's just basic human psychology. The problem with most realtors ads, if I could like sum up in like one sentence why platform works so well and why this high-hanging fruit strategy works so well, it's that most realtors are not offering anything in exchange for people's contact information. They're not offering anything that they actually want. Okay, they're like forcing people to register on their website, like, hey, give me your first name, your email, and your phone number, or else you can't look at listings on my site. That's not a very good trade. That's more of like an assault than a trade, right? We want to think of win-win trades where the person's like, yeah, I really want that PDF. So yeah, I'd be totally willing to give you my first name and email. Just think about all the things you could offer to buyers and sellers that are 3 or 4 months away from buying a house. They're higher up in the sales cycle. What could you offer them that they actually want so much that they would happily hand over their first name and email address to you so they can get that? And once you crack that code, that's how you can double and triple and quadruple your business, like these platform realtors have. It's really honestly that simple. So the second reason I love this is that you can focus on relationship building instead of hard selling. It should be fairly obvious by now that if you generate a lead who's 3 or 4 or 5 months away, you don't really have to hard sell them. You don't have to use like a hardcore sales script or a phone call script where you're asking all these just, awkward closing questions like you're a 1950s door-to-door life insurance salesman, right? If you generate a lead that's still like 90 days out, or they're 4 months out, or they're 5 days out, you don't have to worry about, closing them. You can focus on honestly just like building a relationship. And beyond, this is just a more pleasant way of doing business. Like you'll actually be excited to wake up in the morning because you don't have to make awkward cold calls to strangers who don't want to talk to you. Beyond this just being a more pleasurable way of doing business, it's actually more effective too. I see realtors all the time who will like ask questions, or they're searching for, secret answers and secret scripts about how they can close more leads, right? I think it's all about, I need a better sales script. If only I could close more leads. And really honestly, like I would say, like, if you're having problems with closing, if you think the best way to scale or the best way to optimize your real estate business is to get better at closing, I think you might have just opened wrong. Because if you actually build a relationship with someone who's 3 or 4 months out, it's the 7th of July tonight. So let's say that someone's not ready to buy a house until January even. Like they're really seriously high-hanging fruit, right? They're 5 or 6 months away. If you actually build a relationship and you send them valuable information, by the time it gets to November, December, you've been providing value to them. They're not going to interview other realtors, right? You already have a relationship with them. The decision has already implicitly been made. If you focus on just building a relationship a couple months before they're actually ready to buy or sell, you don't have to worry about closing leads because they're going to work with you. You already have a relationship with them. So it's not just about relationships. Actually, I'd say it's about relationships rather. It's not just leads. So I want to show you a quick video here. This is a realtor named Brandon. He's in Thornton, Colorado. And in Thornton, he's going to show you this listing he picked up. It's a $400,000 plus listing, and it wasn't even a lead. It was a retargeting ad that he created using the platform system. And it wasn't even a lead. It was a market update video, okay, that he filmed. So this is a strategy I use with all platform clients. Every month, not every week, but just once a month, we ask all of our platform clients to film what I call a market update video. And it's just a 60-second video that they film at a local coffee shop or a local restaurant where they're giving a super quick update on what's going on in the real estate market. So let's say I'm at Bob's Coffee Shop. I'd say, hey guys, it's Tim Shermack. I'm at Bob's Coffee Shop here in downtown Tulsa. I wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on in the Tulsa real estate market. And then I share a quick few stats about what's going on. Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? What's the average days on market, et cetera? And then at the very end, I just give a quick pitch for the business. I say, if you're ever downtown Tulsa, definitely check out Bob's Coffee Shop. They've got great caramel rolls, great lattes, great mochas. So it's one of my favorite coffee shops, in all of Tulsa. So it's a 60-second video every month where you're giving a quick update on the stats of the local real estate market, but then also you're kind of taking time to promote a local business. And this is something we do with all of our platform clients. And then we use this video in a retargeting ad. So if anyone ever clicks on their website, they're going to see this video keep popping up, around the internet. So it's called retargeting. It's really kind of the secret sauce of what makes platform work. So have you ever been to like Amazon.com and you bought something and you put it, you didn't buy it, let's say, but you put it in your shopping cart, but you didn't check out, right? And then the next day you log in and you're on ESPN and you see an ad for that exact product, or you go on Facebook and you see an ad for that exact product. And it's like ads for this product are following you around the internet, like you're being stalked or something, right? This is a strategy that like billion-dollar companies use, like Amazon.com, Nike, Facebook. It's called retargeting, okay? It's where an ad can follow you around the internet based on your past browsing history, okay? We can do that in real estate too. This is what we use in platform. So we use these market update videos, these quick monthly 60-second, super informal videos. Most of our clients are filming them on their cell phones. They're really informal videos. And we use these in our retargeting strategy so that all of your database, all of your leads, they're not just getting an email from you, they're actually seeing you pop up all around the internet. So it's the ultimate top of mind strategy. And that's really kind of the behind the scenes magic that makes this high hanging fruit philosophy work, is because if you're still 4 months away or 3 months away, it's really important that you stay top of mind, but you don't want to annoy people. So using this retargeting strategy really works to stay top of mind throughout the entire sales cycle without having to annoy people by calling them every week or emailing them every week, okay? So here's a quick video from Brandon sharing how he got a $400,000 listing from a retargeting ad with just a market update video. So this wasn't even a lead technically, it was just someone who saw his market update video, thought it was a really useful video, and then decided to work with him as their realtor when it came time to list their house. So again, it's not just about leads and closing leads. It's about building relationships with people and actually adding value. And filming a market update video every month is just a really great way of doing that.
In 2016, my team's going to do over 40 lead gen deals. It's not just all about the leads. We're walking up to a listing I have where the owner saw me in a retargeting campaign through a market update video, and now I've got a $450,000 listing. This whole high-hanging fruit marketing campaign strategy, it really works.
So again, he got this listing, a $400,000 listing, by filming a market update video and using the platform system for retargeting. And I wanted to watch all the way to the end of that video because I think it's hilarious when he walks in and the dogs start barking. Again, this is just proof. I mean, this strategy, this whole high-hanging fruit idea really works. So the third reason is leverage. You can cultivate hundreds of leads at the same time. If you're just making cold calls and the growth of your business depends on making mass amounts of cold calls, it's not really scalable. You can't scale that because you can only be talking with one person on the phone at the same time. However, with high-hanging fruit, we can generate dozens of leads every single day. And because typically the leads are coming in with first names and emails, you can carry out email conversations with as many people at a time as you want, because keep in mind, most of these leads are probably 90 days away. So it's not like right when they sign up that you have to get back to them within 60 seconds. Like if they're 90 days away, if they email you at 4 o'clock and you email them back at 5:30, like 90 minutes later, you're not going to lose the lead, right? Because they're still 90 days away from doing anything. So you can leverage it much more effectively than low-hanging fruit style strategies. So it's much more scalable, I guess, than just making a ton of cold calls, or it's much more scalable than just buying a bunch of Zillow leads, because you can cultivate so many more people in your pipeline at the same time. And with all the brokers I talk to, especially if you already have a pretty successful real estate team, like if you're watching this training tonight and maybe you're on a team that's already doing 40 transactions a year, or you're already doing 60 transactions a year, you're already pretty successful. You're probably thinking, okay, but I don't want to get a bunch of crappy leads. I want actual quality leads, right? As I said, this strategy is all about quality over quantity, because if you actually provide value to people in the very way that you're doing lead generation, it inherently guarantees you're going to get accurate contact information. Okay, you're not going to get fake phone numbers and fake emails. These will be quality leads. At the top of the funnel, if you can actually focus on providing value for people, you will attract quality leads because you're building actual relationships with people. Maybe the easiest way, I guess, to describe this is like it's like a metaphor I usually call fishing upstream. So let's say you and some buddies are out and you're fishing, right? and you all have your lines cast in and you're standing about 5 feet away from each other, basically that's a zero-sum game, because if you don't catch a fish, someone else is going to. And if there's only X amount of fish coming through, it's a zero-sum game, because any fish that your friend catches is a fish that you couldn't catch. So you're all basically competing against each other. And that's what I see is basically what's going on in the real estate industry with leads. All the realtors are at the bottom of the sales cycle. They're at the bottom of the tree fighting over this scarce amount of low-hanging fruit. So it's paradoxically not really low-hanging fruit because there's such fierce competition there. But what would happen? What would happen if you walked 100 yards upstream and you cast your line in 100 yards upstream? You would catch all the fish before they ever even got downstream to where the rest of your buddies are, right? So you're fishing upstream. You'd be intercepting all the fish before they ever got to the point where all your friends have their lines cast in, right? So what we're doing with high-hanging fruit is we're just intercepting the leads earlier in the sales cycle, and we're getting them in our database before other realtors get them in their database. We're essentially fishing upstream in the sales cycle for people that are thinking about listing their home or buying a home. So because of that, we're basically getting a head start on other realtors. We basically have 3 or 4, maybe even 5 months of time where we have a monopoly on the mind of those prospects. They're not getting any other messages from other realtors, so we can really build a large amount of trust and get them to like us, to when they get to the point where they're actually ready, they're actually ready to get pre-approved and start house hunting, or they're actually ready to list their home for sale. They're not going to interview other realtors. They already feel like they know you. You're a trusted advisor. You're a friend. They're going to work with you. So it's all about fishing upstream and basically intercepting them earlier in the sales cycle. Okay. All these strategies revolve around promoting content people actually want. So not promoting you, rather. Most real estate ads I see are basically like a business card that someone put into the content or put into the format of an ad, right? So most real estate ads, it's just got a picture of the realtor's smiling face, probably their logo on there and their broker's logo for compliance reasons. It's got their website, probably got their phone number on there, their email address. It's basically the exact same information that would just be on a standard business card, and they just put it into a newspaper ad, or they upload that image into a Facebook ad. That's promoting you. No one cares about you. Like advertising 101, going back hundreds of years, is about what's in it for me. The best ads, always promise something useful to the consumer. So it's not bragging about you. It's promoting content people actually want. So that's why this realtor up in Minnesota who wrote a free book and gave away that book, as a way to generate leads, the book is something that people actually wanted. So they were more than happy to hand over their contact information to get that book. What happened? That realtor, the year that she published her book, went from being the number 48 realtor in her association to being the number 2 realtor in her entire association. The year she wrote her book, she went from being the number 48 realtor in terms of sales volume to the number 2 agent in her entire association. That's how many leads it generated. So think about what you can actually offer to people that provides value for them, and they'll be happy to give you their contact information. That's, high-hanging fruit 101. So in just a second, I'm going to share with you how to get a free copy of the book, High Hanging Fruit, okay? Just a second. I want to end on this cliche quote. I know you all heard it, and I know it's kind of cheesy, but it's so true. If you want results you've never had before, you'll have to do things you've never done before. So, all these people that I shared with you in this training tonight, that have used platform and that have gotten these results, they've doubled their business, or they've tripled their business, or they've quadrupled their business. It's because they started doing something they had never done before. They didn't just start making more cold calls. They didn't just keep on doing what they've been doing all the years. They tried something radically different, and what they implemented was this high-hanging fruit idea. So if you want to double your business, triple your business, quadruple your business, or like Jose, he was a realtor in Colorado Springs. Jose grew his business from, doing about $125,000 a year to over $700,000 a year this year in GCI. It's because he's doing something radically different than other realtors. So, I've said it before, but the reason high-hanging fruit works is that it's basically the opposite of what everyone else is doing. So to get a free copy of that book, just go to highhangingfruitbook.com. And then when you sign up for it, there's a quick box you can check. if you're interested in learning more about the platform system and learning more about this strategy, that has helped all these realtors double or triple or quadruple their business, right? Just check yes, send me more information about platform. Okay, everyone's gonna get a book. So I'm not saying that you have to be interested in platform if you want the book. I will personally autograph and ship a book to everyone. But if you want to hear more information about platform, I'd be happy to send you additional info of how platform works. Just check that box saying yes, I'm interested in more information. I wanted to share with you a quick video. This is actually a realtor in Florida who was on this same webinar that I did last week. So I did this same webinar and I did it live just last week. Okay, and in between last week and now, she decided to take action on these high-hanging fruit strategies, and she's generated 60+ leads in just the 2 days that she's been going so far. And she sent me this video just so I could show this to other people that, like, hey, I was on your webinar last week and I'm already getting crazy results. So, this was all brand new to her on June 29th. So as of June 29th, Amy had never even heard of this high-hanging fruit strategy, and already she has 60+ leads and a massive pipeline, thanks to implementing this high-hanging fruit strategy and, working with platform.
Hey, my name is Amy Signor, and I'm a realtor here in Northwest Florida. I was on Tim's webinar last week about high-hanging fruit, and I decided to go ahead and get started. And the very first ad that's been run, we have generated over 60 leads. So I think that's an amazing response in just a couple of days. Actually, it's only been 2 days, less than 48 hours. So we're hearing from a lot of people, and I'm looking forward to getting in touch with them all and seeing what.
Awesome. So again, Amy was just on the webinar last week, and this is an actual text message I got from her today. So I literally got this text message today, and I was like scrambling to make sure that I had a screenshot of this so I could include this in my PowerPoint. So she says, a lead with a pre-approval just called me. Like, she's so shocked that someone who's already pre-approved called her. She didn't have to cold call. She's actually having home buyers call her, and she actually says, now I feel bad for other realtors in my market. This is working so well for Amy. In just her first couple days, she actually feels bad for the other realtors in her market, because she's now starting to realize how quickly she can scale her business, with platform. So, and then I got this second text message, 5 minutes later, and she says, and that was not an isolated incident. A second lead just called me. So she has inbound leads that are actually calling her on the phone thanks to her implementing this platform system. So as I said, Amy was literally just on the webinar like a week ago, right? So Amy hasn't been doing this for 6 months or 12 months or 2 years or 3 years, right? Amy was on the webinar I did last week, and this is her very first week of implementing the system. And already she told me she has over 60 leads that have signed up using her platform marketing campaigns. And out of those 60 leads, here's just a really good idea of how quality the leads are. Out of those 60 leads, over 30 of them right now, Amy told me, are actively engaged with her in real conversations. So out of the 60 leads, over 30 of them are actually emailing her back and forth or calling her about buying or selling homes. So I think that's a pretty good testament to this whole quality versus quantity tension, and that this high-hanging fruit strategy really works to generate not just a quantity of leads, but actual quality. So I mean, Amy has gotten 2 phone calls literally just today of home buyers actually wanting to call her, and they're already pre-approved, wanting to start the research process of buying a house. And again, I know I've said it 10 times now, but this is just such a cool story. Amy was on the webinar last week, so she hasn't been doing this for a year. She literally was watching the same webinar just like you are right now, except this is the webinar that I did live on June 29th, which is like a week ago. And she's already experiencing this just mass amount of results. And what this is she's using the platform system. So if you're interested in finding out more about the platform system, when you sign up for the book, it's www.highhangingfruitbook.com. When you sign up for that book, just check that, hey, send me more information about platform. You know, I'm not gonna like force you to hop on the phone with me or anything like that. But if you just check that box, I'll send you some more details about how platform works. And if you're interested, like maybe you want to work with us. If not, that's cool too. I'll still send you a free autographed copy of the book either way. But I just want to share some more stories with you of you know, how realtors around the country, just like you, are using platform to really, really scale their business. So again, it's highhangingfruitbook.com. That's where you can go to get a free copy of the book and request more information about platform. I didn't really mention this before, but platform, we only work with one client per market. So it's not something where we work with like multiple agents per zip code like they do with Zillow, you know, where if you get a lead from Zillow, there's probably 5 other agents in that exact same zip code that got that lead right when you did. So you have to fight over that lead. With platform, we actually only work with one client per market. We don't work by zip code because I've never heard of a realtor who only worked one zip code, right? So for example, right now we don't have a client in Fargo, North Dakota, let's say. So if someone is watching this right now and you're in Fargo, North Dakota, we could work with you because we don't have any clients there. And once you hire platform to work with you in Fargo, we will not work with any of your competition in a 20-mile radius. Okay, so you've locked down that market. We only work with one realtor per market, not per zip code, but per market. So here's just a quick list of who we're currently working with in the US. I think we have about 30 clients right now. So we're not a super huge company. We're very, very quality over quantity oriented. Okay, so here's which markets are taken. We only work with one client per market, and this isn't, I don't know, this isn't like a false bullshit, you know, scarcity. I'm not trying to scare you into thinking you have to hire a platform right away, but I just want you to be aware that once we start working with someone in a market, we don't take any other clients because we become fiercely loyal to you. So, you know, if you're interested, just sign up at highhangingfruitbook.com and I'll send you more information about platform. And if your market's available, I'd be happy to talk about if it might be a fit to partner with you and run all these marketing campaigns for you in your market. I want to show you another case study here. This is Zach Sullivan. He's actually a loan officer who works in Colorado and Nevada. We helped Zach over double his business. It's been so successful for him that, keep in mind, he's a loan officer. So he's not making a 3% commission, you know, on every loan. He's making more, probably closer to like a 1% commission on every loan. And even still, Zach, the math of it just works out where it totally makes sense for Zach to work with platform in multiple markets around the country because it's working so well for him. So he's actually expanded into different states because platform has helped him scale his business so quickly. So I'll show you his story here.
Zach Sullivan. I'm a mortgage lender here in Colorado. I'm not a real estate agent. I've been working with Platform for a little over a year now. It's really taken off. You know, I started out with just me being a loan officer, didn't have a team, and now I'm to the point where I actually have a full-time processor and a full-time loan officer assistant in Colorado also. About 6 months in, I started getting so many leads that I literally had to tell Tim and Andrew to put it on pause because I couldn't handle everything. So once I got a little bit more support and kind of got my team dialed in, you know, I pretty much have it set up to where all I'm doing is working leads all day long and getting them pre-approved. I also decided to take it a step further and moved into another market of Las Vegas, where I've recently opened up a branch out there as well. The leads have been crazy good out in Las Vegas. I'm looking to hire and grow that team probably to a couple loan officers as well as, you know, a full production staff also. Currently, only from the platform system, I'm probably looking at closing a minimum of 4 deals a month, sometimes up to 7 to 8 deals a month. You know, a lot of those are going to be strictly from the platform or referred from another client that was in platform. But I would say I haven't seen a month of less than 4 deals. So when I first started out in mortgage lending, my first full year, I did 49 total.
Yeah, so I don't know if you caught that, but Zach said he's doing about 3 to 4 deals every single month from platform. So that's how powerful this system is, and that's how we can scale your business. If you're interested in platform, I really want to highlight that in case you were just like skimming this. Zach is doing 3 to 4 deals every single month from platform.
total deals, which for the first year, was pretty crazy busy. But since then, in 2015 alone, I actually doubled that. So it was actually 110 deals total. And then in 2016 already, through the middle of June, I'm actually looking at about 75 deals closed already. So my growth has been, huge. And a lot of that is also opening up the second market, but really having those leads to be able to work, and that database just continues to get larger and larger. I really want that number up somewhere around 200 to 225 deals a year. Keep in mind, I'm a mortgage lender, so I'm not on the same, commission splits as a realtor. They pretty much get 3 times what we get per deal, and platform still makes sense. I still want to use it each month in order to generate leads, because I'm not looking for just one deal a month. With platform being able to close 5 to 10 deals a month, it easily pays for all the marketing expenses.
So, that's just a really, really awesome case study of, what's possible when you really embrace this high-hanging fruit idea. Zach is doing 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 deals a month, specifically coming from platform leads. Okay, so this is not something where, he's finding a random transaction every couple months from platform. He's doing multiple deals every month, specifically from the pipeline that platform has built for him. And that's what it's about. It's about building that future pipeline so you never have to worry about having a slow month. That was something that Zach talked about, is, being, he's in the Fort Collins area of Colorado. Often people there get worried, if you're a realtor there, that, what if my business really slows down in November or December or January? Well, with Zach, his business is steady every single month. He doesn't really have to worry about having a dip during the winter or a dip, during those slower months, because he's always working on building a future pipeline with platform. So Zach's been working with us for, about a year, and we've been able to double, and we're coming up on actually tripling his business. So, it's just a really, really cool story. So again, you can get the book at highhangingfruitbook.com. I personally autograph, I personally ship all those books. And, I would love to have you check that box when you sign up that says, yeah, sure, send me more information about platform. Because if you're interested, and if we don't already have a client in your market, I'd be happy to send you more information about platform and see if it might be a fit for you. Maybe we could double or triple your business too. I want to show you another video here. This is Brandon, and he's going to do over 40 deals this year, specifically from platform leads. And he'll give you a tour here of his office. He's actually in a really cool kind of warehousey building with some like tech software startups. He's actually in the same building that Uber is located in kind of downtown Denver. But Brandon, at the end of this video, this is the most important part of the whole thing. At the end of this video, Brandon's going to show you his actual whiteboard in his office, showing you the pipeline he has of buyers that are coming in the next couple months from platform, as well as all the current deals he's closing this month from platform. So he's going to show you his whiteboard so you can see how big his pipeline is thanks to using this platform system.
So when I was first introduced to the whole online lead platform system, I was skeptical. Now, a year later, we're closing 40 deals in 2016. This is all due to the online marketing platform. For example, we have our buyers meet us in this building, which gives us instant credibility. Because when you meet somebody on the internet, you never know if they're real or not. So when you come to a building like this, people come in here, they want to work with you, they realize you're real, and then you sign them up as a client. Come with me to the office. For example, we are closing 11 deals in June alone, totaling over $4.5 million. That is an incredible number, and about half of that came directly from the platform system.
So again, I don't know if you heard that, but he's doing almost $3 million in sales volume in the month of June alone, over $3 million specifically from platform leads. So that's the power of having a pipeline, because Brandon and his team were generating leads throughout February and March and April and May, and they lead generate every month. So every single month they're adding to that pipeline, so they'll never have a slow month. And next, Brandon's going to show you his whiteboard with all his future business of buyers they're cultivating right now in the future.
Now, over here is the stuff you can't fade. This is our pipeline. This is ready buyers who've been pre-approved. They want to go searching, they want to go shopping, and they want to buy a home. 50% of these guys are all coming from our platform system, and it's proven the high-hanging fruit mentality, the system, the platform leads, it really does work, and it's real.
Awesome. So I love how you ended that. That was just really blunt. You know, it really does work and it's real. So I mean, it's proof right there. Just a look at that whiteboard. I mean, all those buyers are, you know, buyers from his pipeline he built up that are pre-approved, they're ready to buy a house. So I mean, you can see the ROI and the profit that all these realtors are getting off of using this platform strategy. You know, Brandon here is going to do over 40 deals this year, just specifically from the platform system. So that's not even counting all the deals he's getting from his current database and his sphere of influence and referrals and all that. So I should also note that Brandon is a first-year agent. This is Brandon's first year as a residential real estate agent. So from the platform system, in Brandon's very first full-time year as a residential agent, he's going to do over 40 deals specifically from the platform system. That's pretty cool. So again, here's a quick screenshot of all the markets that are currently taken. And just to be really honest, I'm not showing you this as like a bullshit scarcity tactic. I just want you to know, I guess, that like we truly only do work with one client per market. So right now, for example, we already have a client in Nashville. So if you're watching this and you're in Nashville, I apologize, we can't work with you because we already have a client there. So if you were to call me and say, hey, Tim, I am willing to pay you, you know, money. I really want this suburb of Nashville. You know, I would just say no. Like, we already have a client there. So it really is only one client per market. And because we can focus so much personal time and personal attention on every client, because we only work with one client per market, that's how they're getting these incredible results. You know, most of our clients, we actually have like an hour-long phone call with them every single week just to check in on how things are going. So even in how I run this business with platform, I'm using a quality over quantity approach. So these are all the markets where we already have someone. If you don't see your city on there, definitely let me know, because I'd love to see if maybe we can implement platform for you in your city. So you can sign up at highhangingfruitbook.com. I have 2 more videos I want to show you. So if you're still watching, I have 2 more stories of realtors here that have used this platform strategy that have really, really scaled their business. So this is Danny. Danny actually started with us in Texas, and she's been with us since March. So she started the platform in March. So that's what, March, April, May, June. This is like her 4th month with platform. And already she's on pace to double her business. So she'll go from doing about 100,000 a year in GCI to over 200,000. And she's only 4 months in to using this platform system.
Hello, my name is Danny Steese, and I'm a realtor in Texas. I just wanted to film this short video for y'all and tell you about my experience with platform. I'm actually in my car right now because I'm dropping off a sign at my newest listing. There it is. It's really cute. Anyways, so last year, before I was using platform, I did about a little over 100,000 in GCI. This year I've been on platform about 3 or 4 months now, and because of that, I'm on pace to do over 200,000. So that being said, I definitely would recommend checking it out. It's really, really helped my business, and I would recommend for any realtor to look into it for your business. Thanks. Bye.
All right, awesome. So again, she's in Austin, Texas. And so I apologize if you're watching this and you're in Austin, Texas, we can't work with you because Danny is our client there. So that's not like a sales tactic I'm using. Like I'm dead serious. We only work with one client per market. So I apologize if you're in Austin, Texas and you're watching this. Danny is already working with us there, and we are committed to making her the top realtor in all of Austin, because we're only going to work with her in the Austin market. So I want to end with this and show you Jose's video one more time, because as you've seen throughout this training tonight, you know, we have all these case studies of people doubling or tripling their businesses. it all might make more sense now after we've talked about the high-hanging fruit strategy and how we're targeting people at the top of the sales cycle. We're targeting the apples at the top of the tree, you know, because we don't want to pay retail price at the grocery store, you know, for full price apples. We want to cut out the middleman and plant our own orchard of trees. So, you know, as you've seen how this system works, I think watching this quick video of Jose is going to be really powerful with all that in mind.
Hey guys, if you're still skeptical about high-hanging fruit, let's just break down the numbers real quick. In 2013, I did 25 deals. I then implemented high-hanging fruit platforms so that you know. In 2014, I went from 25 to 50 deals. In 2015, I went from 50 deals to 70 deals, baby. And now in 2016, I'm making over 100 transactions so that you know. And now that I have my team in place in 2016, just imagine what I'm going to do in 2017. Make it a phenomenal day.
So again, before Jose started working with Platform, he was making about $120,000 a year, which is a pretty good income. You know, like I'm not saying that's bad at all. You know, that's a pretty solid income as a realtor if you're doing about $120,000 a year in GCI. But now, thanks to Platform, Jose is going to do over $700,000 this year in GCI. And this is not one of those like case studies where, yeah, but he has a team of 10 buyer's agents. Jose, it's literally just him and an assistant. So him and one assistant is able to do $700,000 in GCI in 1 year, thanks to the Platform system. So if you're still skeptical, I would be happy actually to send you Jose's cell phone number and you can talk to him personally, because he would be more than happy to tell you about the difference that Platform has made for him and his family. You know, actually, Jose's doing so well now that he's actually building a home in Costa Rica, so he can spend some time in Costa Rica and manage his business remotely from that home in Costa Rica. So, you know, Platform is just making a really, really big difference in the lives of our clients. And honestly, there's a bunch more videos I could have included in this training tonight, but we're already, you know, almost 90 minutes into this. So I want to respect your time, but there is honestly a bunch more case study videos I could show you. But, you know, we're already almost 90 minutes into this. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Because I know that obviously if you're a realtor, you're busy, you know, especially if you're already a fairly successful realtor, maybe you're doing 40 transactions a year, 50 transactions a year. You know, if you're a busy realtor, it takes a commitment to invest time in a training like this. So I do want to thank you just for investing your time, because, you know, that's a serious investment. So thank you again for your investing your time. I will definitely, send everyone a copy of the book High Hanging Fruit. Again, you can grab that at www.highhangingfruitbook.com. That's where you can get a free copy. And then just check that you'd like me to send you more information about platforms. I'd be happy to send you more details of how the platform system works and see if we don't yet have a client in your market. Because you know, if not, I'd love to talk about maybe if it makes sense to partner together. So again, you can sign up for the book at highhangingfruitbook.com. I'd love to talk to you about platform and see if that's a fit, see if we can work together to double or triple your business. And again, one last time, I do want to thank you for joining us, because I do seriously appreciate how much of an investment it is to take 90 minutes and watch a live training like this. So hopefully I'll talk to you soon, and I'll be pretty busy this weekend, you know, autographing and shipping out all the books. I already see that we've had like 50 people sign up for the book in the last like 5-10 minutes here. My phone's just been blowing up with notifications. So, one last thing, speaking of my phone, if you have any questions about platform, you can totally text me. My personal cell phone number is 320-905-5672. So if you have any questions about platform, my personal cell phone number, you can shoot me a text. My personal cell phone number, my iPhone, is 320-905-5672. One last time, it's 320-905-5672. So if you have any questions, you can totally feel free to text me about platform, but you can get the free book at highhangingfruitbook.com, and I look forward to connecting with you. Thanks.